When you can't decide which tree to use, why not just stack them on top of each other? Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to provide some epic expansion to our tropical paradise, building 2 new towns, adding in death care, and building our first industrial area, all while respecting the natural beauty of the region. We are also going to use the amazing Road Builder mod to see if we can make 3 original small roads perfect for quiet town life. Things are really starting to fill in, and I hope you agree. This region is absolutely stunning. My name is College Builder. I am just your friendly college dean who happens to play Cities Skylines 2. Welcome back to my tropical series, Marathon Cove, where each episode is 20 minutes or less and explores the region's growth through time-lapse videos. We established 2 small towns in our previous episodes and built our waterfront university. I can't wait to show you what we do in today's expansion. Let's dive into our time-lapse and see if we can get it all done. The mini hearse icons indicate we have a death care problem. The vacant area along our highway between Totten Channel and University Village is ideal for constructing our cemetery. Normally, I prefer to build a crematorium because it has a smaller footprint. However, our region built its first cemetery long before the land became valuable and in demand. The cemetery originated from the time when the area was an industrialized zone owned by a wealthy tycoon. As the popularity increased, the cemetery expanded and residents eventually built homes around it. This cemetery will be a beautiful addition, nestled between our avenue and the highway. As the hearse icons have disappeared, the cemetery must be doing its job. Let's expand our road network and plant grass and trees to create a neighborhood feel. This new town will be a small community due to its limited space. Small creeks on either side demarcate natural boundaries. Let's construct our first signature building. This mansion serves as home to an illustrious industrial family in Marathon Cove. We will zone beachfront properties on the streets closest to the water. Here, I follow the design principles I laid out in episode 2, using lot depth variation and alternating a mix of North American and European zones. These principles will produce a variety of assets to give the neighborhood a realistic look. Let's continue detailing the streets, adding some piers, and building more homes. How do you feel about zoning 1 lot at a time? Adding palm trees around the homes reminds us this is a tropical paradise. We should continue adding in grass to our medians. We can also take a moment to add the cemetery expansions, specifically the temple, the columbarium, and the mausoleum. Now it's time to fill in the remainder of this neighborhood. We complete our road network and add in more residential zones with a mix of all 4 low-density residential types. Filling in all the empty spaces with trees will complete the look. We then move across the avenue near our highway interchange to build the second half of this little town. The open stretch of land takes us up against University Bridge, which we built in the last episode. Road grass and trees continue to be essential. The mix of lot depth variation and zoning types gives us a very nice mix of assets. The houses in this area will mainly be 2 units wide. Even though the land here is valuable, the homes are not as expensive. I envision that many university faculty, and maybe even a college dean like myself, choose to live here to escape the campus noise. As they are right across the bridge, commuting to campus will be easy. I am following my small town design principles from episode 2, keeping a buffer between the homes and the highway. I love how this little town is turning out. What sort of things do you like to do in your small towns? Do you fill them with trees as I am here, or do you take another approach? Please let me know in the comments. I am always looking for new design ideas. We have some commercial zone demand again, so let's return to the town square and Sunrise Channel. If you saw previous episodes, you likely remember the empty space in the square. This square is currently our only commercial hub for our little towns. Because the university is now graduating students, we also have office demand. We can add office zones to Sunrise Channel, which will complement the commercial zones. I also want to add a few more piers. These are only decorative. Colossal Order, if you are watching, I would be thrilled to have functional piers in a future DLC. We do need some functioning parks, so let's add a community pool, a tennis court, and some parking. These are all very appropriate parks for this area. Speaking of parks, we need to add a park maintenance depot to ensure that our parks remain attractive to residents and tourists. We can add this depot to our service area. Let's better define the district for the university and make a separate district for the University Village. The University District houses all university-related buildings. University Village, by contrast, is the college town around it. You enter this town when you exit our highway at the Diamond Interchange, whether you're going to the university or further out onto the peninsula. Starting the road layout for University Village, we should minimize the number of intersections on our collector to help manage traffic flow. I think we are ready to build our first small custom road using the Road Builder mod. Open the tool from the navigation menu and click on the street you want to modify. We are now in the road editor. The right-hand navigation offers a variety of options, and the specific makeup of the street is displayed along the bottom navigation. This particular street has a sidewalk with parking, 2 lanes in opposite directions, and another sidewalk with parking. I'm not a fan of street parking in low-density residential neighborhoods, so let's turn the parking off on both sides. I also know I want these streets to have grass and trees, so we can add those in. Finally, I want to remove the yellow line down the middle. This type of pavement marking is more common on busier streets and central business districts, but not something you often see on a quiet residential street. Let's save this, naming it Neighborhood Street. It is now available from our Roads menu, and we can use it to upgrade our other streets and build new ones. Although we are close to the university, this neighborhood is historic, and creating serene, tree-lined streets help to give it that look. We can add some alleys as very small lanes. I want a wide variety of assets for this neighborhood, so I will use lot width and depth variation. I am also going to rotate all 4 of our zone types. I'm sure some people find it very tedious to zone each and every lot one by one as I'm doing, but what do you think? Is it something you do in your towns? And do you find this approach to be worth it? Let me know in the comments. Using the tree brush, I will fill in all the empty places with trees. I will place a few individual oaks where the brush wasn't able to fill them in. Finally, we can finish it off with some palm trees. I think this approach creates a very realistic town, but let me know if you disagree. I'm open to other ideas on what to do with this area. Let me know if you've got any. Our commercial demand is back, so we can return to Sunrise Channel in the town square and add in a few more buildings. As we expand the population on the peninsula and around the university, we will need to add a second commercial hub. That will be in the next episode. Now it's time to start our first industrial zone. This region has been getting by on residential service buildings and mostly commercial areas. A check of the unemployment shows, however, that other jobs are needed. Moving north of University Village, we can start an industrial area separated by the highway. Let's open the Road Builder mod and create our second custom small road. I don't want this road to have street parking or sidewalks, so we can delete that right from the start. We will then add a shoulder to each side. Shoulders act like sidewalks so residents can walk along them, but there's no pavement or parking, just dirt. This setup is similar to the alley, but the lanes and the shoulders are wider. We will also keep the pavement markers down the middle. If you are having problems with jagged shadows, go into your advanced settings and turn off Terrain Cast Shadows. Voila! Let's save this as an industrial road. We can upgrade our other road segment, and this road will now be available from our road menu. Now it's time to add in our first industrial zones. Since we turned off parking on the custom street, I'm going to add some parking lots. I am not going to build very many areas. Remember, this is a beautiful natural tropical region. Out here in these small towns, we do not want to damage that aesthetic or create a lot of pollution. You shouldn't be afraid to surround your industrial area with trees. Let's also remove the traffic light and sidewalks at this intersection since traffic is at a minimum. Before continuing, we need to fix the intersection on our avenue where our lane connections broke. I think it's time we can detail the diamond interchange. This is a major interchange for the area, heading to the university and the peninsula. It should be a feature for visitors and reflect the pride of the community. We are also getting notice that internet is poor. I think for this area, placing an antenna in the mountains is appropriate. This will give us really good coverage. We can build a winding road with switchbacks that goes up into the mountain, smoothing out some of the rough parts. First, I will attempt to place a radio mast. However, you can see that the coverage on this will be just too weak. A telecom tower, by contrast, gives plenty of coverage. Let's continue to pay attention to the intersections on our avenue, minimizing the number of interruptions that will slow traffic down. A few more commercial and office buildings can be added to Sunrise Channel as the demand allows it. Okay, I now want to add the last part to University Village today, and our third custom road. We will start with a basic city street. We want to create something that is only 2 lanes and has the width of an avenue. Let's add grass and trees to the sidewalk and increase the width to the maximum from 5 to 7 meters. We also want to make sure there is no parking. Now let's add a median. We can increase the width from 2 to 5 meters and add grass and trees. Now that I'm seeing it, this version is a little too wide for my preference, so let's reduce the width from the sides from 7 back down to 5. The final version is wider than a basic street and nearly as wide as our avenue. I will save it as Neighborhood Tree-Lined Street. In this neighborhood, we will use a mix of our new custom street along with the neighborhood street we first built. The residential zones will be mixed North American and European as we've been doing all along, following our familiar variation of lot sizes. We will also leave buffer space around, filling in the empty spaces with trees. As we wrap things up, let's take stock of what we did today. We built out the town of Bat Cove, adding a historic cemetery and our first signature building. We started the town of University Village, creating peaceful tree-lined streets in our first industrial area. We added telecom to the region and built commercial and office zones in our town square. We created 3 small custom roads using the Road Builder mod. I'm so happy with the way Marathon Cove is developing. More exciting expansion is around the corner in our next episode. Until then, check out what you missed in the series. And as always, happy building.